Hey everybody, so yes, I've already finished this book, When Tomorrow Dawns by Lynn Andrews. Now, I once saw somebody on TikTok walking through the works, looking at books like this, saying, who even buys these? Who reads these? As if there's something wrong with them. Well, I tell you now, I've read this one. Now, I wouldn't pick it up myself normally, but I picked them up for my mum, who's elderly. She remembers the end, well, she doesn't remember the end of the war. She was born at the end of the war. So this is nostalgia for her. That's who reads them. So don't take the mick out of somebody who reads something like this just because it's not full of smut and sex. Because not everything's about that. Sometimes it's about romance and making do and getting on. It just annoys me when people are so judgmental about reading a book like this just because it's got an old-fashioned looking thing on, and it is. Because it tells a story that takes place just after Second World War. Literally, it's after VED, but not VJ Day. And Mary O'Malley and her young son and her sister Breda are leaving Dublin to try and find a new life in Liverpool with relatives. They move in with their relatives and it's a very small, cramped room. But they get on, and Mary is very, very sensible, very clever. Her sister's flighty. Her sister gets a job in the post office. She gets a job in a factory, sewing, because she's very good at sewing. She falls in love with a guy named Chris, who is being chased by the town bike, shall we say. Now, on a trip into Liverpool in the winter, in the cold, she helps an old lady who has been mugged. The old lady's fallen over, and they get her bag back, and the guy's caught, and Mary helps this little old lady home, gets her settled down, makes her a cup of tea, makes her getting all well. And this little old lady, she's on her own. Her sister's died. She never married because her partner ran off with somebody else. Typical man. Not all men are like that though. And then they get on quite well. So Agnes, this woman, asks Mary to move in with her, and she's like, well, it won't be just me, there's my son and his cousin Lily. They can't bear to be separated. She said, that's fine, bring them too. And then later on, a guy named Albert moves in. Albert was a lodger at her aunt's house, and he moves in long and quiet. He's actually a public executioner. Nobody knows this except for Mary. She doesn't tell it because it's not something you spread around, and he did it because he felt he had to do it out of duty because that's what his father did. Basically, Chris gets trapped into marriage by Rosie, and things go downhill for him. Obviously, he hates her, she hates him, but it was the way it was then. So certain things happen, and Rosie carries on with other men, and then Chris slaps her and she falls over and she's killed. But obviously he didn't murder, it was an accident. But he runs away thinking he's going to be done for murder and end up being... Mary runs back to Ireland because her sister Breda is trying to it says she's in love with her first cousin, which is very close, as you know. Technically now it's not illegal, but they're looking at making it illegal again, so I don't know why they legalized it in the first place, but it's a bit too close for comfort. So she takes them all back to Ireland, where Breda meets a very lovely man and marries him. But will Chris, who's run away, ever come back, and will Mary ever get her happy ending? Well, you'll just have to read it to find out. These books are sweet. They're not taxing on the brain if you just want something nice and easy and like. There's no smut. So for those of you who like smut, walk along, jog on. I'm not big on smut. I don't see the point in it, but that's just me. You like it, great, go for it. But don't put things down just because they've got an old-fashioned look to them. They're historical romances, and there's nothing wrong with that. You wouldn't put down The Other Boleyn Girl, which is a historical fiction romance type thing. So I put down this. Anyway, you know what that means, don't you? Can you hear that? It's time for another TBR pick. Oh, we are getting through a few of them now. We got rid of Shakespeare. I always dread it's going to be something huge, but you never know. Let's see what's on this pink slip. And we have got and The Anatomy of Ghosts. Oh my god, that has been on my TBR since like 2016. I'm really excited. I'm going to go and find it. It won't be a sec. I found it. Anatomy of Ghosts by Andrew Taylor. The year is 1786. Oh, this is another historical fiction. And at Jerusalem College, Cambridge, the ghost of murdered Sylvia Whitcutt has been sighted prowling in the grounds by Frank Aldershaw, a disturbed fellow commoner. When his anxious mother employs John Holdsworth, author of The Anatomy of Ghosts, a stinging account of why ghosts are mere delusion, to investigate the sighting, the uneasy status quo at Jerusalem is rapidly torn apart. Holdsworth grows to realise that the sinister Holy Ghost Club governs the privileged life at Jerusalem with a rigour far more effective than anything the master, Dr. Cadbury, could muster. And when Holdsworth finds himself haunted not only by the ghost of his dead wife Maria, but also Eleanor, the very much alive master's wife, his fate is sealed. He must unravel the circumstances surrounding Sylvia's death, or the hauntings will continue. Sounds interesting. Literally, I picked this up in a free bookshop where you could take 3 books per person for free. Sadly, it's not there now, because I thought it sounds good. And this was way back, probably 2016. And I'm only just reading it now. So this has been on the TBR for nearly 10 years. So I am going to read this. I'm going to start it tonight. And then we'll see what it's like. I'll see you soon.